My neighbor kept stealing my disability parking spot, so I turned the parking lot into a huge beach party. I have nerve damage in my leg that requires a cane, and since our building has zero accessible parking, the management let me pay an extra $100 monthly for the spot closest to the entrance, which literally saves me from falling on bad days. Everything was perfect for 2 years, until this suit guy moved in 3 doors down and decided my disability spot was his personal VIP parking, because God forbid he walk an extra 20 feet. The first morning I found his BMW in my spot, I figured it was an honest mistake, so I waited by his car for half an hour until he strolled out with his coffee and politely explained this was my assigned disability spot. He looked straight at my cane, then back at my face and said, "Listen pal, parking is first come first served. If you want the spot so bad, then get here before me, because that's how the real world works for people who actually contribute to society." I called management immediately, but they just said they would look into it. Shockingly, the next morning his car was back in my spot at 7 a.m. sharp. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt that he just didn't understand what I meant, and so I left a polite sticky note on his car explaining, "I literally pay extra for this spot due to medical necessity." But when I came back from physical therapy, there was a sticky note next to the one I stuck on his car that just said no in angry black Sharpie. Then I tried waiting until he left for work, then moving my car into my rightful spot. But when I went out for groceries and came back, he had moved his BMW right back into it like we were playing musical chairs. When I did manage to park in my spot, he started parking so close to my driver's side that I had to crawl through my passenger seat while 3 neighbors watched me struggle with my bad leg. And when I confronted him about it, he said, "What's wrong? Can't handle a little squeeze? Maybe you should find a building for people with your limitations." I bought orange traffic cones to put in my spot whenever I left, but he just threw them off to the side with a note saying, "Nice try, but I don't see your name on the asphalt." After I spent $40 on a professional metal sign that said, "Reserved disability parking," I found it bent in half with a note that said, "You're not entitled to special treatment just because you limp around. Either take what's yours or stop crying about it." I kept an eye on his schedule and discovered he left every Saturday at 10 for golf and stayed gone until 3, which gave me a 5-hour window. Friday night I called every cool neighbor and told them, "Tomorrow at 10:30 we're throwing the biggest beach party this parking lot has ever seen. Bring your kids." On Saturday morning, the second his BMW disappeared, 12 neighbors emerged with supplies like we were storming Normandy, except our weapons were bags of sand and pool noodles. We dumped 300 pounds of sand across my spot and the adjacent spots, then set up beach chairs and tiki torches and kiddie pools, and someone brought an inflatable palm tree while their kid made a sandcastle where his tires usually sat. One woman brought her extended family with a grill making burgers, while her kids had a water balloon fight and speakers blasted steel drum music. By noon, 20 people in Hawaiian shirts were doing the limbo in the spot, while someone's grandma judged from her lawn chair positioned exactly where his BMW actually belonged. When his car pulled in at 2:15, his face went from confused to purple as he screeched into a disability spot screaming, "What the hell is this insanity?" I looked up from my beach chair sipping a coconut with an umbrella and said, "Oh hey neighbor, it's a beach party, and since you taught me parking is first come first served, we got here first, so this is our spot now." His neck vein throbbed as he screamed, "This is my parking spot, you psychopath." I smiled, saying, "Your spot? But that's weird. Last month you told me parking doesn't have names on it, and we should take what's ours, remember?" The entire party went silent as he stood there shaking, while 20 neighbors waited to see what happened next. That's when he made his biggest mistake. He screamed, "You think you're clever, you pathetic cripple, but I'm done playing games," then grabbed my arm and yanked me out of the chair so hard I crashed onto the asphalt while my bad leg twisted underneath me. The crowd erupted as 3 dads tackled him down, while someone's grandma hit him with her purse, screaming, "You don't touch disabled people, you monster." Maria was already calling 911 saying, "A man just assaulted a disabled person in front of 20 witnesses." The cops arrived to find him pinned down while I was still on the asphalt getting checked by a nurse who lived upstairs, and the officer said, "Sir, assaulting a disabled person is a felony hate crime." The businessman tried stammering about parking, but the cop cut him off saying, "He pays for assigned disability accommodation, and you've been harassing him then committed assault." As they cuffed him, he said, "This isn't over," but the manager who finally showed up said, "Actually it is. You're being evicted for violating the lease about harassing disabled tenants." They dragged him away while he screamed about lawyers, but the cop said, "Sure buddy, you can explain to a judge why you attacked a disabled person over parking."